Alright, how's it going, guys? Extra here. I just wanted to do a video, and this is like unironic, by the way, of sort of how to beat Shulk. Because let's be real, we probably need it. I'm going to go through what I think your game plan should be, and sort of like this is sort of a video as well about like how to approach the character matchup, because against certain characters, certain moves are going to be good, and certain moves are going to suck dick. So it's about like thinking about your options, thinking about like playing differently rather than just sort of like playing your own way, because that's really important, and it's something that I think a lot of people in Australia don't really do. They just kind of do their own thing rather than adjusting between sets. So I'm analysing Duon versus Tru4. Duon's currently 0-3 with Tru4, so even though he has like John's like, oh, I was tired, I stayed up all night, whatever, I just wanted to play Ryu, blah 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 blah. We can probably see the things that he's doing right and that he's doing wrong. And Tru4 obviously went on to win this tournament. My cat just knocked my mouse on the ground. Tru4 ended up winning this tournament. This tournament sucked. I came 5th. I lost to Zetman camping me out with Captain Falcon. It's probably one of the worst sets I've ever played. And yeah, but enough about me. Let's get on to this. So, Duon ended up counter-picking to FD a couple times, I think, and he ended up counter-picking to Town in the 3rd game. I don't see why Shulk would like ever want to go to like a triplat against Fox, so I'm not sure why he didn't counterpick to that, but I guess he was a sad boy. Oh yeah, and Duon is bad against Strix as well. Tru4 seems to like FD. He seems to go to Smashville a lot as well. But yeah, not so much Lilat and not so much Battlefield, so I assume that's what he banned.
He also doesn't play like either of them. There's a lot more camping involved when Strix plays.
This mic quality is like pretty bad, by the way, so I might turn it down a little bit. Because we don't really need to hear what Pudge says. I don't think his contribution is very welcome here. So yeah, we'll also have my cat harassing me throughout this entire video, so get ready. So I just want to start off by talking about what I think of each Monado. Speed is like, Shulk has a better neutral, but at the same time, he does less damage. So speed is like, it's one of those ones where you have to play pretty patiently, but at the same time, it's not really threatening. Like, oh, I got grabbed by Shulk, he did down throw fair, he did like 17%. Who cares? Just shield a bit more. Shielding is really, really good against Shulk. And try to bait out his grabs, and don't worry too much about hitting him, per se. Just try and focus on whiff punishing, rather. Jason starts out pretty well. Bit risky. See, like, he got up-aired there, up-beat there, and he took 9%. It's like, whatever. Pudge actually spitting the truth. I think he stole that from me. So yeah, Jason playing pretty patiently here, but as we see, he gets anti-aired there a couple times. You can't just jump against Shulk. Like, you can't just full hop, basically, because you just get hit. Like he did like 3 full hops in a row there and got hit on the last one. Again, full hops, tries to like full hop nair, gets hit. And in Buster, I find it's good to make plays in this mode, because if you get the right play, then you're going to get big damage. But in general, you don't have to sort of like jump into Shulk all the time, because that's sort of like what he wants you to do. And rather than trying to like get something started when his Shulk has room to like retreat, like this, like retreating back air, retreating neutral air, retreating back air, you want him to get in the corner and then you want to make your play. So yeah, Jason's still full hopping. Gets punished for it again. Stop jumping, nerd. Gets his side B red. Tru4's back in speed here. It's not really scary. Jason gets big damage. Now shield is a weird one because you can just do what Jason does here and like basically run away, except while he runs into a bloody back air because he gets hit for basically jumping again. But you can just kind of like run away from them when they're in shield, or you can go for a play and try and juggle them because they're really, really, really easy to juggle. Good read, doesn't quite get the kill, we're back in shield. Yeah, you can just kind of like chill here. It's not really scary. Shock can't really threaten you. All Tru wants is a back air. Like, he's fishing for it so hard. Bit risky from Jason. That was, like, back air is basically safe on shield. After Shock hits your shield with an aerial, he kind of has to play like a 50-50 game, except if he hits you with like perfectly spaced forward air. Or back air, for instance, because then he can just like retreat into another one. But up close, you basically have to play a mix-up game, because his aerial, I mean, his like ground options aren't really very fast. If you can get Shulk in a position where he's going to like try and use his ground options, or he's going to try and like do a defensive option, like as we see here, shield or roll away, then that's what you want to capitalize on, because his out of shield game is like pretty poor. Rolled in. Jump is kind of scary because he's like, obviously his jumps are like really good, and jump is the one that I think when he goes into it, instead of like Buster or Smash, that's the one that you want to camp out. That's the one where you want to play lame, because trying to challenge Shulk's jumps when he's in jump mode is like, it requires so much precision that it's just sort of like not worth it when he can just like jump around nairing or like fairing in this instance and basically like almost get an edge guard. Like, that was really close to Jason dying. So yeah, when he's in jump, in my opinion, play lame. And that's a milk. A lot of people don't know like how to recognize the milk. When Shulk's in the air and when he's changing Monados, he's going to land and he's going to have no landing lag. So in this situation, back the fuck off. Jason had the correct response here. He doesn't in like a little bit, but against Shock, when he's in the air and he's changing his arts, just back off. It's not worth challenging him because he has no lag. Shield mode. Jason goes for the play. Barely misses, which is bad luck. That was good by Tru. Can't really do much about that. But again, like, it doesn't really matter if Jason gets grabbed, because like his kill throws is still not killing. Gets red there. In this situation, I think it would have been better to just do the side B from the ledge, because if he's in shield, he like basically can't punish it. Instead, he gets red. So now he doesn't have his shield mode up, so he's gone back to Buster. Now would be the optimal time to try and kill him. And it works. You want to make Shulk not jump. That's basically your goal, because Shulk's ground buttons suck. So you want to be like hard calling out his jumps for most of the game. If you can't do that, then you're kinda in a little bit of strife. So yeah, even game. Not too bad. Tru always goes into speed mode, tries to get one hit, like get you on the ledge, and then switch into Buster mode. Now Buster mode is like really scary, obviously, but you can just kind of like bait him pretty hard, because for the most part, like I'm saying against Shulk, if you shield, if you just like stay patient, just like shield his landings, force him to play a 50-50 that he doesn't want to play because his risk reward isn't very good. Pudge just talking about crap. See, like, yeah, he gets, what, nair into jab. His speed mode switched off in the middle of that, but if it didn't, that would do, like, even less than 18%. Getting hit by Shulk when he's in speed mode basically doesn't really mean much. We'll see here he goes into Buster. Staying on the ledge against Shulk isn't really scary, because, like, what's he going to do? He's going to, like, down tilt you? Who cares? So it's okay to just sit there and think about stuff. And here I think Jason would have been like a bit better going for the side B once again. but that nair might have hit him. I don't know.
Listen, we're in 3 different group chats, so I assume that's what.
So here's where you sort of really want to put pressure on against Shulk. When Shulk is in the corner, then he can't retreat backwards. And if he can't retreat backwards, then he can't do like perfectly spaced forward airs, he can't do back airs very safely. He just can't really like get his game plan going. So you want to play like a real micro game where you like slowly stay grounded and force him into a corner, and that's when you can sort of get your advantage state rolling. Now Jason gets a bit lucky here because he jumps over the down tilt, but usually you want to hang out around the range where his down tilt won't hit, because then he has no safe ground options, so he has to take like a slow aerial option if he wants to do anything.
3 different group chats, so
And he gets hit, like he has to jump basically, like he has nothing else he can do. Doesn't get punished there, which is unlucky, and Jason missed spaces. But this is like still a good position. Like if he got that grab, then
that was a really sad.
that would have been like pretty decent damage. Like as you can see, Shulk in the corner is really vulnerable. He doesn't have good out of shield options. He's pretty like slow, especially when he's not in like speed or jump. All his aerials take ages to come out, so this sort of position is where you really want to corner him.
That was a really sad.
Tru gets a bit greedy. He can do that from the ledge though if he's in jump, which is really lame.
What Tru's doing here is he's trying to just jump away from it.
Gets his jump red, almost dies for it.
Well, he was at like 60, so
So yeah, in this situation, I think Duon should be playing much less proactive, because Shulk's in jump mode. Like, it's like you're trying to challenge him. He's already on the ground by the time you've like tried to react to his jump, mate. It's just not happening basically. And again, like he tries to call out another jump. It's just not worth it. It's like the risk reward for challenging Shulk when he's in jump mode is just not worth it. And in this situation, Duon gets the wrong read and almost dies. He's very lucky he survived that.
that was crazy, dude.
Gets the dash attack. Not a bad option. Shulk on the ledge is also pretty scary. A lot of the time they like to jump from the ledge, but yeah, generally you don't want to try and edge guard him too hard unless you're really good at going off stage, and you don't want to fuck with air slash either.
Game plan right now is just like
Side B on stage, gets away with it. Ooh, that was pretty lucky.
Tru4's game plan right now is just like.
Yeah, I think Tru tried to roll there.
Oh, that's
Just barely misses. I think that was a milk. Jason sort of backs off here, doesn't really chase him, and Tru's... No, he doesn't milk there.
he's like dashing and dash attack.
Oh, hard reads. Just calm down.
True realizing that down up smash and kill, going to shield.
So again, I don't think it's a bad idea to make plays when Shulk's in shield mode, because if you get him in the air, you do so much damage to him. That was... What was that? What the fuck was that, Jason? I think that was a misinput, but yeah, like, once again, he's sort of like just aiming to call out Shulk's jumps. Like, that's what you have to do. You want to make him not jump because his grounded option's like pretty bad.
Nice.
I'm not sure why he neutral get up there. This might have been like a misinput, but I don't know. Like, you can pretty safely do the drop down air dodge from the ledge. I guess he was scared of up tilt because Jason's pretty proactive with his up tilts. But yeah, I wouldn't count on that kill working a lot of the time, but still, good on Jason. So yeah, as we see, we're back to FD. I think Shulks just love the space because they can kind of set up their Monados without really worrying about the opponent getting too close to them. Back to shield.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. But just all of his tools to catch landings aren't as good.
Speed, rather.
Up tilt's the other.
I keep getting speed and shield mixed up for whatever reason. Yeah, like as we see here. Near to jab, it does 16%, who cares? Speed is not scary at all. It's only like, sort of like fake scary, because he can switch into Buster if he hits you.
Ends at like the top. So like.
So now that he's in Buster, this is sort of like a good range for Jason, but he kind of throws it away with unsafe pressure. He just misses the back air basically.
She was really good. He fucked me up. So it's good to see Duon is keeping his own. I feel like this
Good side B.
is like game 5 games.
Yeah, Tru's definitely.
Jason's getting hit by a lot of back airs, and I want to like look at why. He's just misspacing slightly. Shulk's timings are all really weird. So rather than running under and shielding, especially as we see here, he's changing his Monado, so he's going to Malk most likely. I think he does mess it up in this situation. But basically when Shulk's up in the air and he's changing his Monados, if you can just react to that and hit him, that's so much better than like whatever Jason was going for here. That basically should have been an up air. Like, you got to aggressively challenge Shulk in the air, especially because his moves are so slow. He almost gets edge guarded here, but I think, yeah, it doesn't really work out. Ooh, kind of like a dodgy string, but he makes it work. I think he got that by reading Shulk jumping on stage. Yeah. See, Shulk's like doing that a lot, especially in jump mode, because it's pretty safe, and their air dodge will auto-cancel. But if you sort of hang out around the roll read stage of the ledge, like where you think their roll read would get them to, then you're in a really good position, because as I've said before, Shulks don't like being on the ledge or like in the corner. And this positioning that Jason took was basically able to perfectly cover Tru4's get up. Ooh, bit dodgy from Tru4, but that was smart. Always gotta be careful of that. There's no real reason, like, not to just straight up challenge him here. I think Jason fucked up. But yeah, like back air, like if he back aired that backslash, he might have died actually, because backslash might trade and do more damage and kill him. But he also probably would have killed Tru4. When Shulk's in shield, getting him off stage is like really underrated, especially because I think he lost his jump here. Yeah, he lost his jump. So if Jason like traded with back air, then Tru4 would have been pretty much dead. Alright, so what's he going to go for? Yeah, Tru4 trying to anti-air him. You want to be really careful not to jump here, but he does. He kind of gets away with it. Ooh, really dangerous. We'll see here he's like really fishing for the back air, and Jason's just sort of like getting under him, getting around him. Again, another back air. So Shulk, when he doesn't quite have the kill, and when he's too scared to go into Smash Monado, it's not really scary to get grabbed by him, because like I guess you get off stage, but as long as you're confident in playing the corner and playing around his aerials and his like massive up tilt, then you'll do alright. The most important thing is to just keep a cool head when you're at high percents, because he only has a couple moves that are like really scary. There's the Malk. As we can see here, he's full hop, double jump, and he double jumps while changing the Monado. Right here, Jason should be like, alright, challenge this, because he's going to land with the back air. Lands with the back air, Jason jumps and he gets the turnaround up tilt. He tried for that earlier and it didn't really work. So yeah, you had basically two choices whenever you see him like go for this little setup. You can try and challenge him in the air, or you can just back the fuck off. Trying to play up close when he's doing this bullshit is just not worth it.
Expect him to be able to like do that so quickly, so you sort of like try and punch him, and then he like that's not good.
Rip.
Then they go fishing for the up tilt.
Now he's in speed. Jason gets the ledge trump. Just sort of backs off. Again, gets the read from the ledge, so we can expect Tru4 to stop doing that.
Tru4's like his disadvantage is pretty decent for like a Shulk player.
Now we're back to shield.
Now down tilt up smash I think is gonna connect. So
Jason says down tilt up. I mean, Jack says down tilt up smash, but I can't rack on him too hard because I said Jason instead of Jack. Anyway, we can see here, Tru4 does like doing this. This little like juke back to the ledge. Jason goes for the up tilt, but you can just like F smash him or down smash him if he ever does this. It's basically really slow and essentially like a free punish, but he's too slow. Air dodge. Jason's desperate for the kill here. He slightly misspaces. And we see here, Tru4's like, when he misspaces a nair, he shields a lot of the time. Malk. Again, he's trying to read Duon jumping. So if I were Jason, I'd be playing a lot more grounded. See what he gets here. Doesn't get anything. This is like the shitty Fox percent where you can't really do much. Again, he's just doing this thing. See, look at that. That's a free punish, basically. But Jason was sort of like in this weird range where he, I don't know, like why would you run in there? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Why are you up here? Like, him hanging out at the roll range and just punishing the get-ups was working so much better, but now he's like here. He tries to read the jump for some reason. Just a bit sloppy, took some more percent than he needed to. But like, Shulk is not that threatening on the ledge. He can't really make big plays. So, I don't know, it's just, you don't need to go that aggro, I suppose. Just wait and react. Oof, Jason jumping a lot. He really wants to like get big damage. Rolling is terrible against Shulk, especially when Shulk's like retreating like this. Like, jump backwards, yeah, just like, oof. That is indeed a re. So, he dies for this. So let's have a look at this. Jumps into Shulk. Jumps into Shulk again. We see here that the Tru is actually doing a Malk. Just expending his double jump, landing with a back air. So, as soon as Shulk's like up in the air, warning bells should basically be going off in your head saying, 1, he's malking, 2, he's going to back air, because he always fucking back airs. And yeah, that edge guard is pretty brutal. But good edge guard by Tru. Don't jump into Shulk when you're on the ledge. Like, he's one of those characters you just can't do that against. There's a few characters where you can do that basically for free, but Shulk has like such a range advantage that you're going to get punished for it. Just chill and think things through and try and maybe wait for him to do something rather than just going in. It's just silly. So Jason counterpicks Town. I would have gone Battlefield or Dreamland. I don't know why he didn't. You probably should do that in the future. Yeah, again, he nares into Jason and just shields. Trying to roll doesn't really work out. Shulk's in the corner here, and he really doesn't like being in the corner. See, like, here he finally gets his, like, Malk attempt punished. As we can see here, switching Monados, back air. And Shulk really has trouble landing if your conversions are on point. Jason's really wasn't here. I think he did one too many up tilts. No, he just messes up, I think. I don't think they were supposed to be in there. Bit risky, bit, like, don't spot dodge. I mean, spot dodging is not too bad, because I guess he was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get grabbed. But just roll back. Rolling back is really, really good against Shulk when he's not in one of his, like, high movement modes, because you basically get away for free unless he really, really wants to commit. Again, good punish, good juggle, like, you gotta use your shield very proactively against Shulk, because he doesn't really want to grab, or he doesn't really want to, like, do grounded moves very much. So, if you can, like, get right up in his face as he's doing one of his slow aerials, then, you can get a pretty significant punish on him, because his moves aren't that safe. Like, as we can see here, like, Tru didn't do a landing nair, so it could have been safer, but Jason gets a dash attack as a punish. Even in Buster mode, that was pretty safe. I mean, pretty unsafe. Tru likes doing that. He'll just like run across the entire stage, do a back air. It doesn't really matter though, because it only does 9%, but I think he kills Jason with it at a higher percent. Speed is actually really underrated at high percent, I feel. At least by Shrix, because your moves are like still pretty decently strong. So Jason has the lead here, misses the up air. Gets his jump, red. Kinda gets down when he shouldn't have. Tru's just retreated the corner. Again, when Shulk's in jump mode, here, don't try and challenge his jumps. It's just not worth it. It's so needlessly risky. Pretty significant lead. We're back in shield mode. I think this is the part where you just kind of like want to chill. Good grab. I don't know if he knew that that would be a tech chase. Yeah, like, that's not really scary. He milks there. But, Jason doesn't fall for it. Like, staying patient on the ledge is really good against Shulk. Because, like, what, he can't do anything here. And he goes for the read. It doesn't work out, obviously. Shulk grabbing you is... That was really lucky. Shulk grabbing you is only scary when he's in Smash mode, rather. And Buster, I guess. So, in these modes, because his movement is not that great, you can kind of bait him out into doing grabs if you're on the ball. Yeah, that was so lucky. He probably should have been dead there. Switches into Buster. Again, we see, like, he really puts himself in a vulnerable position when he's trying to milk, trying to change Monados. Like, he's all the way up in the air, and he has to hope that Jason just, like, fucks up challenging him, and he does. So yeah, definitely try and challenge Shulk when he's changing his Monados, because he's basically putting himself in a really bad position to do so. Now he's back in shield. Good read. Shame it doesn't kill. Jason playing a bit of a dangerous game here. I'm not sure what this nair was. I think this was just him going for, like, nair to up smash, but he hasn't made Tru not want to shield. Oh yeah, like, he goes for the read. Can't really do much about that though. He's got to be really careful with these jumps around this percent, because he will die to up tilt. Milk. See, like, this is the milk gimmick where, like, if you try and challenge it, then you'll just get smacked and you'll probably die. Yeah, he gets up tilted, but it was for rolling in. Rolling in is so bad against Shulk. Just, like, don't do it. Ever. So now he's got to get the kill, but Shulk's already in shield mode, so it's not too scary. Again, Jason's not really reading air dodges, so he's kind of getting out of the vortex. Like, don't ever do this either. Jumping into, like, if we've seen anything from this set, jumping into Shulk is just like a terrible idea. So he's in Buster, so you want to kill him now. Yeah, reads the jump again. Like, at this point, doing a jump like this is really bad. Like, what this jump is going to accomplish absolutely nothing, and it loses to Shulk pressing any button. .166, we're back in speed mode. Tru gets red there. But now he's back in shield. This is the annoying part about Shulk, basically. Jason again gets his jump red, because Tru knows that he wants, like, the generic Fox kill combo, but you can't just jump for free, otherwise you get hit. This was a risk, though, by Tru, to be fair. Like, have a look at this. If Jason just waits instead of jumping, he could have just up smashed Tru for doing this. Even fucking DD knows it was unnecessary. Again, he's, like, trying to jump around, like, he... Full up dare, because I'm a scrubby Fox player. Yeah, Tru reads the jump again. Jason doesn't give it to him, so good on him. Again, what is this? I don't get why he's, like, doing this. It didn't work. That worked. That was so bad. He took literally 50% from that. Now he's in again. He does the full hop. This milk was a bit harder to challenge because he was in jump mode, I think. But he might have switched off. Yeah, no, he switched off. But again, back air, up tilt. Every Shulk has, like, habits that they like to do when they milk. So just be careful of that. Almost dies there. I think he rolled. And, yeah, just lack of awareness on the ledge. Shulk did the ledge trump early, so he's going to be the one leaving the ledge early, and Jason just does, like, a brainless back air, which was never going to hit, and he dies. Let's have a look back to around here, and we'll see how he gets hit by a back air. Rolling in against Shulk. That was sort of like a pretty good call out by Tru. But like, I think if he rolled away, he might not have got hit by that back air. Once again, like, rolling in the direction that Shulk is going is a terrible, terrible idea. And something that, it's just one of those, like, characters where you can't do that.
It's crazy. Dead. No dead.
So, yeah. Overall, what we saw from that last game in particular was Duon getting called out a lot on his jumps. You can't jump for freely against, Shulk, because if you try and do that, his sword is just like so big and covers so much space that you're just going to get hit basically. When he stayed a bit more grounded and tried to punish his aerials with like dash attacks and stuff, then he was a bit more successful. And when he tried like intentionally calling out his Shulk's jumps, like Shulk's full hops in particular, rather than just like doing jumps basically for no reason, or just like jumping into Shulk in disadvantage, or doing like dares because it's like, oh my god, I gotta get this kill, then he was a lot more successful. I think that people don't really respect Shulk enough in neutral. You kind of have to play very safe against him, and rather than just sort of like doing your own thing, you have to respect his game plan, and that can be hard. But hopefully this sort of this shows my thoughts on the matchup and how you can go about like exploiting Shulk's weaknesses a bit more. He's definitely very vulnerable in the corner. He's vulnerable as soon as you force him to do ground moves, and if you can't let him get anything started when he's in buster mode or jump mode or like speed mode, you have to like slightly switch up your gameplay depending on what mode he's in. But they all definitely do have counterplay, and hopefully I've explained that well. So, alright, I'll see you guys later.